Okay, we're going to look at adding mixed fractions here. So let's look at a nice simple one to start with. So let's say we take 2 and 2 fifths plus 3 and 1 fifth. Here is our strategy for adding mixed fractions. First of all, we need to identify the whole part of our fraction, which is 2 and 3. And then the actual proper part of our fraction, our proper fraction, is 2 over 5 and 1 over 5. So our denominators are the same. So that's a really good thing. Makes our adding simple. So what we have there is we have 2 plus 3. There's our whole numbers. And then we have 2 fifths plus 1 fifth. So we can split it up into that. So now what we have is 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 2 fifths plus 1 fifth is, remember again, 3 fifths. The bottom number doesn't change. Now 5 plus 3 fifths is simply 5 and 3 fifths. That's one strategy of working out our mixed fraction, or adding mixed fractions. Now we could have changed our mixed fraction to an improper fraction, right? But in this case, it's no point in doing this. So let's look at adding mixed fractions where the denominators are not the same. So let's look at an example of that. Let's take 3 and 1/4 plus 2 and a half. Alright, so let's use the same strategy here. So let's take our whole numbers, 3 plus 2. That's the first thing we do. And then what we need to do is we need to add our fractions on at the end. 1/4 plus a half. Okay, so we have 3 plus 2, which is 5, plus 1/4 plus a half. Now again, we can't add those together at the moment because we don't have the same denominator here. So let's change it so that we do have the same denominator. Let's change this 2 so it becomes a 4. So we've got to times it by 2. We times this by 2. So now what we have is we have 1/4 plus 2/4. Therefore, we will have 5 plus 3/4, which will equal 5 and 3/4. And there is an example of adding fractions that have different denominators. So the key there, let's look at this again. We added our whole numbers together, 3 plus 2, which gives me my 5. We did 1/4 plus a half. We recognized that the 1/4 and a half had different denominators. So we changed the half to have the same denominator as the 1/4 by timesing by 2, which means to times the top by 2. And then we could add the 1 plus 2, which gave us our 3 on top, remembering that 4 stays as 4. It tells us how many parts it's split up into. And we have 5 and 3/4. And there's adding fractions, or adding mixed fractions.